God fucking damn it!
What? That's good, right?
No.
Well, it's happened. GTA 6 has been delayed. This is something that a lot of you guys have been talking about, and this is probably my number one most asked question during the live streams. If you watch my live stream, you would probably know the amount of times that I have been asked this question. People have asked me constantly. Every single live stream I do, I probably get asked 5 times if I think GTA 6 is getting delayed, and it's gotten delayed here. And I'll also break this down and tell you guys what I think about this. But hi everyone, Grand Theft Auto 6 will now release on Thursday, November 19, 2026. We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve. So, people are not happy about this. Obviously, a lot of people are pretty pissed. But anyways, going back to my point really quick is people kept asking me if I think GTA 6 is going to get delayed, and I still have the exact same answer. People were asking me about it, and I said, before this even happened, for months I've been saying that GTA 6 is coming out in 2026. It is coming out either in May, and I've said this multiple times on streams. I said it's coming out in May, but if it does get delayed, and it has now, if it does get delayed, it is going to get delayed till, fall, 2026. Basically, right around that time, right when the holidays, right around Thanksgiving, Christmas time, right around that time for a holiday release. It's not going to get delayed further past that. And, most games don't release like in the dead of winter, like, January, for example. It's not a good release date. People like to release before the holidays. So that's basically why I was saying that it's going to come out in 2026. It is going to come out, in either in May or in the holidays, but now we know it's coming out in the holidays. So that was basically, my answer to that. I don't think this is going to get pushed back anymore. I'm telling you, I'm literally 99.9% sure that this game is not going to get pushed back anymore. Now, I know people are pissed, people are angry, and I will say about this is both a good and a bad thing. It sucks that GTA 6 is getting delayed. It does. I know. I feel you guys. I'm pissed in a way too. But they have to have a reason for delaying it. And this is going to be Rockstar's biggest game ever. This is going to be probably the internet's biggest game ever released. And so they are going to want this game to be polished 100%. You don't want something like Cyberpunk. You definitely don't want something like Mind's Eye. Like Mind's Eye, remember we played that? Yeah, I was so excited for Mind's Eye. I thought that Mind's Eye was going to be a good game. I know people are going to laugh at me for that, but I honestly did think that Mind's Eye was going to be a good game. But I was proven wrong. I looked like an idiot, and it was a complete disaster. So we don't want something like that happening again. With GTA 6. We don't want a Cyberpunk launch. We don't want a certainly don't want a Mind's Eye launch. We don't want a Fallout 76 launch. So we want a smooth launch, a great launch for the game, and that's ultimately why I think that they delayed it. Rockstar also said this: "We want to thank you again for your patience and support. While the wait is a little longer, we are incredibly excited for players to experience the sprawling state of Leonida and a return to modern-day Vice City. Sincerely, Rockstar Games." And I actually left a comment here, and I said, maybe you guys can actually update Red Dead Online for once now instead of GTA Online. And we were all saying that this December is going to be GTA Online's final DLC, that in December when the mansions come out, that's it, that is going to be GTA Online's final DLC. But it turns out it's not going to be GTA Online's final DLC. It's probably going to be in June or July where it's going to be the final DLC, and that's going to be what, how many years? That's going to be almost 12 and a half years of GTA Online, basically, at this point. But, yeah, I was saying about Red Dead Online that Rockstar could actually, make an update for Red Dead Online. They could actually do something for once. You've got another year until GTA 6 comes out, so why don't you actually do something for the Red Dead community? You abandoned the game, a number of years ago now. Maybe you could actually do something for the community and actually make a game, because honestly speaking, people are sick of GTA Online updates. And I will tell you guys something is, I'm excited for the mansions, don't get me wrong, but if I had to choose, I'd rather the summer DLC, next summer, I really want it to be Red Dead Online DLC. That's what I don't want another GTA Online DLC. I honestly want a Red Dead Online DLC, something to do on Red Dead. Not GTA, because GTA Online is just getting very stale at this moment. But I will also add on to this that I will say is that Rockstar's wording is just terrible on how they word these things. It's just really bad, because here's the thing. If you are going to delay a game like GTA 6, you know what the best thing that you can do in that type of situation is to release a trailer, like trailer 3. That's what they should have done, is they should have just released trailer 3. And honestly, they shouldn't have even said May, May 26th, I think that was the date. They shouldn't have even said May. They should have said 2026. And then, we would have known that at least it's going to come out between January 1st and December 31st, 2026. But they gave us a specific date in May, and now, they're going back on that, and people are pissed. They should have released a trailer. That's it. It's, to calm people down, not to get people pissed. Just release a trailer and trailer 3 and get people excited for the game. Stuff like that. But now, yep, we're going to wait another whole year. Another whole year until GTA 6 comes out. But like I said, I know it sucks, but the game is going to be improved. That's what I'll say. So it's better it releases, in a year from now instead of being a buggy state. But also I wanted to talk about this because I know some people are going to mention this. Grand Theft Auto Studio accused of union busting after sacking workers. Now this happened like a week ago. A bunch of workers from Rockstar Games had been fired, and there's apparently two versions of this story. According to the workers, this was a union issue. They wanted to unionize. Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive fired them. According to Take-Two Interactive, it is because they were leaking stuff. Now, I don't have evidence for this, but I'm more likely to believe the workers in this case because I don't think that anyone will risk their job at Rockstar leaking stuff. I don't think, stuff like that would happen, and I don't even know what leaks they're talking about, stuff like that. Grand Theft Auto GTA Maker has been accused by a trade union of sacking staff in the UK to stop them from unionizing. The Independent Workers Union of Great Britain, IWGB, which represents people working in the gaming sector, said 31 workers were fired from Rockstar's UK studios on 30th of October. The union led rallies outside the company's office in Edinburgh and London on Thursday to protest what it describes as the most blatant and ruthless act of union busting in the history of the games industry. The BBC has approached Rockstar's parent company Take-Two Interactive for comment, which is reportedly claiming staff were sacked for sharing confidential information. So again, leaking stuff. That's what they're claiming. There's protest outside of Rockstar HQ. Also, these workers are not all of them are the people who work at Take-Two and Rockstar. There are just a lot of unions that have protested outside. Last week, we took action against a small number of individuals who were found to be distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, a violation of our company's policies, a Rockstar spokesman told Bloomberg in a statement. I don't believe it. I don't think that many people were leaking stuff. This was in no way related to people's right to join a union or engage in union activities. What we'll say about this also is remember that when Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming out, there was all these reports coming out that workers were working like 6 days a week. They were working without breaks. They were just being pushed, to develop Red Dead Redemption 2. So with the atmosphere that you have at a place like Take-Two and Rockstar Games, I am honestly not surprised by this. Let me see here. Rockstar's upcoming GTA 6 expected to be one of the best-selling games. Okay. Union President Alex Marshall accused Rockstar of deflecting from the real reason for firing staff. I don't think that this ultimately is the main reason on why GTA 6 has been delayed. Some people are saying that this is the reason, but I don't think so, because the game is pretty much mostly finished at this point. It is mostly finished. They're just, finishing up final touches on it, making sure that the game is running, that there's no glitches, issues like that. But yeah, that was basically the story of the union. I don't want to, spend, I don't want this video to basically be too long about this, but one last thing I did want to talk about here. Take a look at this, guys. This is Take-Two Interactive stock right now. Look at that. Look at that. That it has crashed right now. Right after the market closed, it went from $252.40 a share to $228.40. Now it's at $234.20. So it's fallen by about $20 a share. That's very bad for a stock to fall that much, specifically a $200 stock to fall, $20 in one day. And it's because investors were disappointed about this. Investors were looking forward to GTA 6 coming out in May. And that's pretty much what happens, is that whenever there's a setback in a company, the stock does end up crashing. But a lot of people are saying, buy Take-Two stock. I'm not a financial advisor, so, don't quote me on this. But a lot of people were saying, buy Take-Two stock, but you don't know if it gets delayed. If it gets delayed, the stock ends up crashing. Stuff like that ends up happening. But that's basically the backstory on that. I stay away from stocks like Take-Two. I remember that I remember Take-Two Interactive, I bought a bunch of shares of Take-Two, what was it, like, almost 2 years ago. It was, like, right when they were releasing Trailer 1, and Rockstar announced, oh, we're releasing Trailer 1. I bought a bunch of shares of it. I was excited. I was hoping that I could flip it pretty quickly. And then what ends up happening is a hacker hacks into Rockstar, releases like the trailer early on YouTube. I don't remember how that trailer got out, but somebody leaked it on YouTube before Rockstar did. And then what happened was that the stock ended up crashing. And then a couple days later, I sold it. I broke even. Didn't really lose any money, but I was pissed because the stock was going up that night. And then the hacker had, leaked that stuff and the stock basically crashed. So that's why I don't I don't really get involved in stuff like this anymore. But that's basically the backstory on GTA 6. It has been delayed. Yeah, I guess we saw this. I know some people are, asking me, how pissed are you about this? A little bit annoyed, but it's not the end of the world for me. I'm not worried too badly because I have plenty of games to play on my channel. I'm not just a GTA channel. I know that the GTA videos obviously bring the most amount of views. I'm not, fool. I know that. But I play so many different games in the channel that I'm honestly not worried. This actually gives me time to play other games in the meantime, do content on other stuff. So honestly speaking, I'm not that worried about it. But this is also why it's not a good idea to base your entire channel on just one video game. Because if you base your entire channel on one video game and you have stuff like this basically happen, there isn't that much content to make. And if Rockstar decides not to make an update in summer, if they decide, oh, we're only doing the Mansion DLC in December, but no update in the summertime, yeah, then it's going to be a lot harder to make GTA content because there's not going to be anything to cover in the summer. So that's why I think, creators should always, branch out and try to do different content on their channel, not just GTA. But I guess that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think of this delay? Are you pissed at Rockstar? Do you understand why they delayed it? What do you think exactly? So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.